Uh, what? Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Yes, if you don't know from the intro of this video, it's going to be in a tinfoil area, whether it should be or not. I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll talk about it. And I'm going to have to thank some Twitter people on here for actually bringing some of this out. And Kenny, yeah, we have think great minds things alike. We just literally says, what are you up to, Zach? But I also want to thank some Twitter for finding some things about whatever this is. Where is it? Wherever this is. Okay, so Zach on Vero posted this out of the blue just about mere moments ago. And it is a picture of a tarot card, and he literally just says the seven, and so you see the seven swords there and everything, right? And it has Roman numeral 7. So immediately I posted that and people were responding to it. One person for Escobar at Recco J, automatically he went into detail. Thank you so much for bringing up some of this. So I'm gonna just read you some of the upright 7 of swords meaning, right? So this is a tarot card. So people are looking into the tarot cards and they're trying to decipher what does this actually mean, if it even means anything. Now a lot of people it's called betrayal, deceit, and things like that. But let's go into more details about this. Let's go into more detail. So the 7 of swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. When you get this card, it may imply that you or someone else in your life is having difficulty getting away with something. There are instances when we are forced to be sneaky, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it's embarrassment, punishment, or worse. Sometimes this happens when there are instances when you had to think on your feet and did something that was somewhat shrewd and out of character. Now, there is a danger of the secret coming out. Now, your mind's going like everywhere when you read this, right? And the fact that he could just be like something about his personal life right now, right? Sure. But since nowadays it looks like Zach's been pretty his mind is on the stone quarry, which he finally released that it's all done. His new office is built, it's ready to go. But he did that t-shirt thing, and it's obviously he's still there for Justice League. By the way, that t-shirt thing, McD, he knew about it for a while now. So I think Zach had appreciated what McD and everybody was doing. Ramesh was doing all the shirts and stuff, so he wanted to put out a design. And so McD did say that he might want to have us clue in on that. I didn't say a word because I wanted Zach and Mick to announce that themselves, and then I'll talk about it after it's announced. And sure enough, Zack Snyder did release that image for the t-shirt campaign, so that's awesome. But when you look at the 7 swords, right, and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, the tarot cards maybe is alluding to the t-shirt design. As you look right there in the middle, there is that little where, the dark side's omega symbols right there. And then you got the 6 swords, and then the one big sword in the middle. The 7th sword is in the middle. At the hilt on top is of Superman's symbol. Courtland, it also says, right? So it could be in reference to that. Maybe he's just explaining the t-shirt and the t-shirt design, giving clues for the design without really meaning too much. Maybe it's alluding to what happened to him in Justice League, where they kind of just go behind his back and made a movie, that wasn't his anymore. They kind of chopped it up, and that's why we got Justice League. Maybe he's just telling us of what happened back then, right? And this kind of alludes to it. This is still also from Escobar. There are instances when the Seven of Swords may indicate the willingness to go solo. You may have the urge to explore and discover some things on your own. This can be an effective approach if you want to assert your independence and bypass group agreement. The Seven of Swords symbolism may be encouraging you to go on this path. Sometimes innovation comes from a rogue genius. So this almost sounds like, if we're just, I'm just grabbing all these descriptions of Seven of Swords and trying to think about why he would release this image. But this sounds like what's been happening. What happened to him, right? With Justice League, Batman v Superman, it's just a studio intervention all the time. And now that he went solo, got his new office, he's asserting his own independence. He's bypassing that corporate group, making a corporate movie, and he's going back to making his own films. And so that's his symbol. He's going on a path because through Rogue, since he went rogue, pretty much he's able to innovate again. So he could just be explaining the Stone Quarry, which I believe, right, when they talked about he was going to make the Fountainhead, and he could still be making the Fountain TV series and what have you, because Stone Quarry is also doing television. But I like to have it's a double meaning, like he's actually going through Fountainhead, and that's why he ended up with the Stone Quarry, just like how the main character was in the Fountainhead. So he's just retelling what he's doing now in actual life. So, but other than that, there's a lot of people who want to indicate this is maybe in referring to the Snyder Cut, which could or could not be true. I like to refer to Sket at Boom Barks on what he found out, right? So he's looking through, and there's, of course, the Seven Swords tarot card meanings, where it's betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically. Okay, so here we go. He highlighted a bunch of things in this Seven Swords tarot card that may seem to allude to us. So, but I'm going to read the whole thing, and maybe I'll take away some things that are not really, would help us in any case. The Seven of Swords is a card that appears in your tarot reading to reveal issues of breaking free, doing things your own way, and abandoning group ideals. Yeah, he did that. So the Seven of Swords is seen as a card of saving yourself. This can be positive elements to it, as in many impersonal transformations, but it can be negative as well, revealing the core selfishness present in many of our decisions. There's also an element of haste in this card, an indicator of moving fast in the decision-making process. Maybe that's what happened. He moved quickly, and it took 4 years to get this to be true so that he can move out of studio. Or in the other section, think about it. If you're thinking the Snyder Cut, is he actually moving haste, doing something with that? Maybe, I don't know. Remember, we're in a tinfoil hat territory, so logic out the window. He goes on about this, but he wants Boomworks wants to highlight certain things, and this one is the most important part of this illustration is the plain fact that even with his hands full, the thief has not taken all of the swords. He has not taken all of the swords. The thief is not necessarily a negative character. Everyone operates in secrecy and to their own advantage on some occasions. In relationships, we sneak around to find out information on the men we love. In office politics, we are often forced to act behind the back of someone to ensure our job security. Is he doing something right now in secret that could mean something? Who knows? Anyone who's self-employed knows that going out and doing your own means using any bit of information that can be acquired about your competitors. That does interesting. The Seven Swords is a card that demands you look inward, examine your own behavior. If you have been secretly sabotaging a group at work in order to get ahead, you cannot immediately assume that the card represents a friend or lover sneaking around behind your back. So there's a lot of sneaking, going behind a back, being deceitful. Now, is he referring to Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns, John Berg, that entire team that was working on Justice League? He could be referring to something in the past. Or he could be the one who's being kind of deceitful here. The one, and not in a bad way. He's maybe working on something secretive in the behind the scenes. Maybe. If the Seven of Swords is in the past part of your tarot reading, okay, that's just part of the tarot reading. Okay, here. This card in the past as a confirmation that they will be loyal from now on. Loyal from now on. The card, of course, can indicate that someone cheated on you. In fact, you might still not really be sure of. So, essentially, it's kind of like you got cheated on in the past, and they're going to be loyal from now on. Warner Brothers cheated on him, in a way, and now they're going to be loyal from now on. Maybe. Is this why he all of a sudden Vero posted that Jim Lee is the best man? They did get rid of all those people, including Jeff Johns. And now, this new regime may accept him. Maybe. Who knows? This card could show that your recent crafty moves are paying off at work. There is something interesting to be said about maybe reading too much into this, or maybe not reading into it enough. Now, we know he loves to play these things, right? And it's fun for him. But it's also fun for us to talk about it and discuss it. And there's many ways that we could interpret this. And there's so many ways he could be talking about the past, the present. And a lot of us hope it's the future, right? A lot of us hope it's the future. A lot of us hope he's actually planning on something. It could be Justice League, it could be Snyder Cut, or it could be something else. It could be something entirely different, something we don't even know of. But of course, a lot of Snyder Cut people hope he's talking about the Snyder Cut, and we hope so as well. But we got to also believe that he has more on his plate. Yet, he talks about the DC. For people who says he's moved on, he sure posts and Vero and Vero posts a lot about the Justice League and Batman v Superman and Man of Steel a lot. Don't you think? I think so. Now, this one is maybe to close it off. Tinfoil Hat Terry. This is from Adrian P. Ni Do is an actress who starred in Watchmen and met recently with Zack in his new office. And I remember seeing that post on Vero. Take a look at what she wrote. This is a comment from below that Vero post from the tarot card, right? This is below Zack Snyder's card. Is there something there, or is she simply describing the meaning of the card 7? Okay, so Ni Do just commented on under Zack Snyder. It says, great card. Things are in motion and taking shape through positive and original thinking. Trust your luck. Sign. So, what does that mean? It could be referring to, like I said, new projects that Zack Snyder are working on. There's things that are in motion, taking shape through positive and original thinking. That's what it said. And involving her. That could be a possibility as well. Or, like Zack Snyder, with so many different meanings, so many different interpretations, like how Fountainhead could be a television series, of course, or him gaining the Stone Quarry office and going through the life going through the story of Fountainhead as himself is the Rourke. He's the main character of this whole situation. And even in that Fountainhead, he actually finds an ally. Rourke finds an ally to make the thing that he wants. Does this mean something is coming out in the background. So does this mean that we may be finally getting something about Justice League or something involving that? We're going to have to see and find out. But it has been amping up ever since we got the t-shirt design. And I hope it continues to do so. Hope we get to continue. Zack Snyder continues to hint and stuff. This is like a J.J. Abrams kind of a mystery box movie, if you will. And when that mystery box finally opens and we find out what is going on, is it the Snyder Cut? Is it the Justice League? Is it another movie? What is this? And we get to find out about it. I hope to do a video on it, and I hope people talk about it and write this whole essay on how this came to be starting from the beginning, and it's going to be phenomenal. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.